What does it feel like to have a dream so big it scares you? A dream that everyone else says is impossible. You have no money, no connections, no special talent. All you have is a story in your heart and a fire in your soul. Every time you try, a door closes. Every time you ask for help, you hear the word no. Do you give up? Or do you get back up one more time? This is not just a question. It is the story of one of the most unlikely heroes in Hollywood history. A man who was so poor he had to sell his own dog to buy food. A man whose face and way of speaking were so unique that over 1,500 agents and studios rejected him. But he used that pain, that struggle, and that hunger to write a story that would inspire the world. This is the story of Sylvester Stallone and his fictional hero, Rocky Balboa. I'm your host, Scarlett, and welcome to a special episode of Grow English Mastery. Today, we are going to open the playbook of the ultimate underdog. This is not just a lesson about Sylvester Stallone. It's a lesson from him. First, we will break down his 10 powerful rules for winning in life and in learning. Second, we will master 10 essential vocabulary words like struggle, underdog, and resilience. And finally, we will focus on the grammar of giving yourself powerful commands using imperative sentences. So, get ready to fight for your dream. Your training begins now. Part 1. The foundation of a fighter. Every great fighter's journey begins not in victory, but in the small, quiet moments of decision. For Sylvester Stallone, his journey began when he had nothing left to lose. This brings us to his first powerful rule: start with small things. Stallone was a struggling actor living in a tiny, cold apartment. He had a great idea for a movie, a story about a boxer who gets a once-in-a-lifetime chance. He didn't have a professional computer or a fancy office. He just had a pen and some paper. In just 3 days, fueled by passion and desperation, he wrote the entire script for the movie Rocky. That script was just a small book of paper, but it was his first step. He didn't try to make a Hollywood blockbuster on day one. He started with a small, achievable goal: write the story. Learning English is exactly the same. You cannot become fluent in one single day. You must start with a small goal. Today, your goal is to learn one new word. Tomorrow, your goal is to write one new sentence. The next day, your goal is to speak to one person for 1 minute. That small script became a legendary movie. Your small daily steps will become your fluency. With his script in his hand, Stallone faced his next great enemy: fear. This is his next powerful rule: face your fears. He was terrified of failure. He was scared of being poor forever. He was afraid of the big, powerful people in Hollywood. Every time he walked into a studio, his fear was a heavy weight on his shoulders. But he kept going. He went to one more audition. He knocked on one more door. Learning English is the same. You will be afraid. You will be afraid to speak because you might make a mistake. You will be afraid to ask a question because you might sound silly. Fear is a big, invisible wall. You must not stay behind it. You must take a deep breath and just speak. The first time is the hardest, but every time you face your fear, you get stronger, and your fear gets smaller. Stallone once said that the fear of failure is big, but the pain of regret is much, much bigger. Do not live your life regretting that you never tried. You are stronger than your fear. After a studio finally said yes to his script, Stallone had to become the boxer, Rocky. He had to get very strong, very fast. This is his third foundational rule: train hard. He didn't just pretend to be a fighter, he became one. He woke up at dawn to run up the famous steps in Philadelphia. He lifted heavy weights until his muscles were sore. He hit the punching bag for hours and hours. It was his daily routine. Learning English is the same. You must train your mind and your mouth every day. Your practice is your training. You can read a book. You can watch a movie. You can listen to this podcast. You must do it every day. You must stay disciplined. This is how you get strong. This is how you improve. Stallone's hard work paid off. He looked and felt like a real fighter. Your hard work will pay off too. You will feel like a real English speaker. Part 2. The mind of a winner. Physical training is important, but Stallone knew the real fight happens in your mind. This is where we learn the rules of a true winner. When the studios wanted his script, they offered him a lot of money. But they did not want him to be the star. They wanted a famous actor to play Rocky. Stallone had to make a very difficult choice. He could have a lot of money and an easy life, or he could fight for his dream. This brings us to his next rule: have a good coach. Stallone knew he couldn't win this fight alone. He found a good producer, a man who believed in his story and who believed in him. This producer became his coach. He gave Stallone a chance and told him he was the right man for the part. In your English journey, you also need a coach. A coach can be a teacher, a friend, or even your AI tutor. A good coach is a guide. They will help you speak. They will correct your mistakes. They will push you when you feel lazy. They will give you confidence. Find someone or something that believes in you and can show you the way. Before Stallone wrote Rocky, he acted in many very bad movies. He took small, unimportant roles just to make a little money. At one point, he was so poor he had to sell his beloved dog. He felt very, very low. But he never stopped learning. This is his next important rule: learn from hits and misses. A hit is a success. A miss is a failure. Stallone learned from his bad movies. He learned what not to do. He learned how to be a better actor. Making mistakes is a normal and essential part of learning. You will say words wrong. Your grammar will not be perfect. This is not a failure. It is a lesson. A boxer learns from a punch he takes. He learns how to guard himself better next time. You learn from your English mistakes. You learn how to speak better next time. Your mistakes are your teachers. They show you your weaknesses. They show you where to improve. While he was being offered money for his script, Stallone had many other opportunities. He could have written a different movie. He could have taken another small acting job, but he didn't. This is his next rule: Stay focused on your goal. His single clear goal was to be Rocky Balboa. He said no to everything else. A boxer in a fight has a clear focus. He looks only at his opponent. He does not look at the crowd. He does not get distracted. Your English learning journey is the same. You must have a clear focus. The world is full of noise and distractions. You must turn off the noise and listen, only to your dream. This focus is what will bring you to the top. The studios kept offering more and more money. At one point, they offered him what would be over $1 million today. He looked at the big check. It was more money than he had ever seen. He could have a very good life. But he would not be the star of his own story. People said he was crazy when he said no. They told him it was a huge mistake. This brings us to the most important rule for your mind. Believe in yourself. You must believe in your own dream, even when nobody else does. Your inner belief is your greatest strength. It will carry you when you are tired. It is the heart of your dream. Because Stallone believed in himself, he held on and fought for the part. And in the end, he got it. He became the hero of his own story. Part 3. The Heart of a Legend. Finally, let's look at the rules that come from the heart, the rules that turn a winner into a legend. Stallone had his own way of speaking. His words were often a little slow. His voice was often low and deep. It was his unique style. The character Rocky also had his own way of fighting. He was not the fastest or the most graceful. He took a lot of punches, but he kept moving forward. It was his own style. This is the next lesson. Find your own rhythm. Do not try to be someone else. Do not try to speak exactly like another person. Some people learn best with music. Some people learn best from books. Some people learn best by talking. You must find your own way. Your learning path is your own unique journey. It is made just for you. Find the rhythm that works for you, and you will learn faster and be happier. After the movie was made, the fight was still not over. The studio wanted to release the film quickly, but Stallone said no. He wanted it to be perfect. This is his next rule: fight to the end. He fought for the final version of the film. He fought for every scene. He fought for the iconic music. He fought for the powerful ending. A boxer fights until the last bell. He does not quit in the last round. Your English journey is the same. You will get tired. You will want to quit, especially when you feel close to your goal. You must not. You must fight to the end. That final push is what creates a victory. Stallone's fight paid off. The movie was perfect, and it won the Oscar for Best Picture. It became a legend because he fought for it, and finally his number one rule. The rule that is the heart of his entire story and the heart of Rocky's story. Life is not always easy. After his big success, Stallone had good times and bad times. He had bad movies. He had problems in his life. He fell down many times. Boxer gets knocked down. He feels pain. He is tired. But he must stand up. He must get back to his feet. Learning English is the same. You will have bad days. You will make mistakes. You will feel like you are failing. You must not stay on the floor. You must get back up. Start again. This is the secret to winning. This is the most important rule of all. No matter how many times you fall, you must always get back up. This is how you win. Part 4. Language focus. Let's move to our language focus. First, let's master 10 essential vocabulary words from Sylvester Stallone's story. Our first word is struggle. A struggle is a hard and difficult fight or effort. For example, Sylvester Stallone's early life was a constant struggle against poverty. Another example is, learning grammar can be a struggle for many students. Our second word is underdog. And underdog is a person or team that is expected to lose in a competition or a fight. For example, Rocky Balboa is the most famous underdog story in movie history. Another example is, everyone loves to see the underdog win. Our third word is script. A script is the written words of a movie, play, or broadcast. For example, Stallone wrote the script for Rocky in just 3 days. Another example is, the actors are memorizing their scripts. Next, we have resilience. Resilience is the ability to become strong, happy, or successful again after a difficult situation or event. For example, getting back up after you fall shows great resilience. Another example is, she has shown amazing resilience throughout her illness. Our fifth word is discipline. Discipline is the ability to control yourself and to make yourself work hard or behave in a particular way. For example, training every day requires a lot of discipline. Another example is, he has the discipline to study for 3 hours every night. The sixth word is belief. Belief is the feeling of being certain that something is true or that something is possible. For example, Stallone's strong belief in himself was his greatest weapon. Another example is, she has a strong belief in the power of education. Our seventh word is sacrifice. A sacrifice is the act of giving up something you value for the sake of something that is more important. For example, he had to make the sacrifice of selling his dog to survive. Another example is, parents make many sacrifices for their children. Next, we have victory. Victory is success in winning a fight, a competition, or a war. For example, getting the role of Rocky was a huge victory for Stallone. Another example is, the team celebrated their victory with a big party. Our ninth word is champion. A champion is a person who has defeated all rivals in a competition. For example, his goal was to be the heavyweight champion of the world. Another example is, you need the mindset of a champion to succeed. And our final word is opportunity. An opportunity is a chance to do something or a time when it is easy for you to do something. For example, Rocky got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fight the champion. Another example is, studying abroad is a great opportunity to learn a new language. Now let's look at our grammar focus for today. Imperative sentences. Sylvester Stallone's rules are very direct. They are strong pieces of advice, like commands, from a boxing coach. The grammar for giving commands or direct advice is the imperative. The structure is very simple. You just use the base form of the verb. All of Stallone's rules are perfect examples of imperative sentences. Start with small things. Face your fears. Train hard. Have a good coach. Learn from hits and misses. Stay focused on your goal. Believe in yourself. Find your own rhythm. Fight to the end. And always get back up. To make an imperative, negative, we just add don't before the verb. For example, don't stop if you fail. Or, don't be afraid to make a mistake. This is a very powerful and direct way to give advice. Part 5. Practice tips for the 4 skills. How can you practice these ideas? Here are some simple tips. For listening, watch the famous training montage scene from the movie Rocky. You don't need to understand any words. Just watch and feel the music. Feel the energy of his hard work and discipline. It will inspire you. For D. Speaking, choose your favorite rule from Sylvester Stallone's list. Record yourself on your phone explaining that rule in your own words. For example, Stallone says, "Believe in yourself." For reading, find a simple biography or a short article about Sylvester Stallone or the movie Rocky online. As you read, highlight all the challenges he faced and how he overcame them. And for writing, write down your own Rocky story. Think about a small challenge in your life that you overcame. It can be about anything. Write 3 to 5 sentences about it using the past simple. For example, last week I was afraid to speak in my English class. I practiced my sentence at home. The next day, I raised my hand and I spoke. I felt proud. Part 6. Your next action. The 10 rules of Sylvester Stallone are a blueprint for building a champion's mindset. They teach us that our struggles make us strong, that our belief is our greatest power, and that we must always get back up when we fall. These lessons are not just for boxing, they are for life, and they are for your English learning journey. As we conclude, let's summarize the key takeaways. First, we learned the incredible story of how Sylvester Stallone's own underdog journey inspired the legendary movie Rocky. Second, we broke down his 10 powerful rules for achieving success against all odds. And finally, we focused on the key grammar of imperative sentences, the language of giving yourself strong, clear commands. We also learned 10 essential vocabulary words. As a review, those words were struggle, underdog, script, resilience, discipline, belief, sacrifice, victory, champion, and opportunity. I hope this lesson has helped your English and inspired you to build your own champion's mindset. Which of Sylvester Stallone's 10 rules do you think is the most important for learning English? Please share your answer in the comments section below. If you are committed to making this mindset a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend by sharing this video with someone who needs to feel like a champion today. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss our next workout. Remember the most important lesson from Rocky. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, Until next time, keep fighting.